Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Sharon and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the BLU G90 versus the BLU G91 Pro. Now, I missed out on the G90 Pro, but I do have the G90 versus the G91 Pro. So we're going to do a little comparison of these devices, and these are really good, solid devices in the budget price point. And you can see that they're going to be really solid devices. But do me a favor, if you're a big fan of budget technology and you enjoy watching budget tech, then do me a favor, consider subscribing, joining the crew. And if you do enjoy content like this, make sure you subscribe, get notified for more videos just like this. But if you're already a part of the crew, salute. Now, there are some big differences about these two devices, and we're going to get into that in a little bit more detail, but you can see that the physical the look and layout of the device is almost the same. You can see that the bodies are almost the exact same size from the top to bottom when you compare them. But one of the differences you're going to notice is that we do get a 6.5 inch display on the BLU G90, and we do get a 6.7 inch display on the BLU G91 Pro. And you're probably saying, well, they look the exact same size, how is it that much bigger? Well, I'm going to get into that in a little bit more detail, but first it all boils down to the displays and also the technologies that they use. So we're gonna cover the displays in just a second, but you can see that the back of these devices, we do get like a glossy material, which is gonna give you some fingerprints on here, and they even give you a little bit of scratches depending on how rough you are with the phone. As long as you protect it, it should be fine, right? It should be perfectly fine. But you can see that rainbow-like color on the back of here, which is really crazy. And then we do get that similar rainbow-like texture on the back here, but this is matte, so there's no fingerprints on it, which I really do enjoy. And you can see that camera capsule is brand new compared to this one. It's a little bit, it has that older look to it, but it's still really solid, right? So we're going to cover both of these devices, and we do have some really similar features. We do get flash on the back. On the G90, we have a 16 megapixel, but on the BLU G91, we have a 48 megapixel and bigger battery on the G91 Pro. It's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery versus the 4,000 milliamp hour battery, right? 6 gigabytes of RAM on the BLU G91 Pro and 4 gigabytes of RAM on the BLU G90, right? So, both of these devices are really solid, and I'm going to turn them around so you can kind of see both how they look. But let's just go over the actual buttons, right? So we do have a space between the volume rockers on this guy right here, right? And we do have a single button, which is like there's no space between it, but you can see the placement of the power button is the exact same spot, right? Then when you turn it down to the bottom, you can see similar placement, right? Microphones, I'm saying 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, speakers, single firing speakers, right? At the top, we actually do get a microphone on the BLU G91 Pro at the top, but we don't have that microphone on the top of the BLU G90, right? Turning to the other side, we do get the SD card as well for moving the storage. You get expandable storage with the micro SD card slot, and you can actually move your apps, photos, videos, and things of that nature. We also do get a dedicated Google Assistant button, which I really do enjoy on this guy right here, right? So turning it to the displays, and you can see that facial recognition technology is going to be working perfectly. We're also going to get Android 11, right, on the BLU G91 Pro, and then on the BLU G90, we're not going to get that. We're going to get the Android 10, right? So I just kind of want to throw that out there, and you can see that the display, right? Let me just turn off the dark mode so you can kind of see both of these devices in a little bit more detail, right? So let me just turn off the dark mode on both of these guys. And so you can kind of see that a little bit better, but this one is off, right? It's off, it says. Let me see. Let me go to display. I'm not sure why it's still black. Let me see, display. And okay, there we go. It says right here, switching function temporarily disables the power, what does it say? Power savings mode. Okay, so we do have like a power savings mode on here or something like that. So let me just pause the video real quick. All right, so whenever you actually put on that power savings mode, it will give you that feature where it will save battery by giving you the dark mode. But one of the things I really do like about both of these devices is the software. Really stock Android, really smooth, really fluent, really fast when performance. But now you can see the bigger display on the BLU G91 Pro, right? It's got that punch hole at the top, right? Which is going to be a newer kind of technology and it's embedded right inside a display, which is crazy, right? But the V notch did come out, you know what I'm saying, it was out for a while now, but this is still pretty sick that they do have the camera right inside of the top of there. So, you know, it's a nice placement. It has that V drop, and it's actually really nice. It's not intrusive whatsoever. So I just kind of want to show you that. But when we are looking at both of these devices, you can see that we get some pretty cool features on both of these guys, which is pretty cool, right? So I kind of want to just cover these in a little bit more detail and kind of just go over the specs and, you know what I'm saying, the overall performance and things of that nature. So you can kind of get an idea of which one, how much of an update these things are, right? So let me see, we're gonna click that, text color, let's go with white. I never actually did this before. This is pretty crazy. And let me see, select the location for your widget. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna go about this, but let me pause the video real quick. But as you can see, both of these displays are pretty similar, but we're gonna get a much better display on the G91 Pro. It's gonna be a 1080 by 2400 display with 20:9 aspect ratio with 393 pixels per inch, right? So it's gonna be they look similar, right? They almost look similar. And they do look really good, right? Now, as far as the weight of both of these devices, they are pretty similar. We're getting 185 grams of weight on the BLU G90 right here, 185 grams of weight. And then when you compare it to the BLU G91 Pro, the weight is going to be a lot more because we're going to get wireless charging on this guy, right? So if you do hook it up to a wireless charger or just place it on there, right, it's going to give you the wireless charging feature, and you're going to see that pop up right here when you look at it on the screen when it's locked. It's going to give you that really cool animation. That's something I really do like about this device. Now, as far as the overall cameras on both of these guys, 16 megapixel camera on the G90, 8 megapixel wide angle, ultra wide angle, 2 megapixel for depth, for portraits and things of that nature, right? And then on the G91 Pro, we're actually getting a 48 megapixel wide angle, 5 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro, and 2 megapixel depth. So they do give you macro as well as the depth sensor on this guy. And we also do get a 13 megapixel camera on the front of the BLU G90, but on the front of the BLU G91 Pro, we're getting the 16 megapixel. So, you know, this one will give you the option to record in 4K as well, which I think is really good, because when you're taking video on this device, you might want to put it on high quality. You might want to get 4K footage, right? So you do get 1080, 720, and 480, but you also do get that option for the 4K, and you do get portrait, you do get photo modes, AI camera as well. Bokeh is really good on this device, but you do get night mode, pro mode, 108 GIF camera as well, right? Or GIF, slow motion, time lapse, and everything of that nature. So when you open up the camera on the BLU G90, you're gonna get similar features as well. You're not gonna get 4K, so I just kind of want to throw that out there, because when you go here, you're gonna only see the 1080 option, right? And then when you go to photos, you're gonna see we get photo, beauty, more, and this is where you're gonna see we have some of the similar features. We do get 96 megapixel on this one versus the 108, slow motion, intelligent scanning, which is really cool. We don't get the macro mode. We do get the slow motion mode as well as, other features on here as well. So I just think that it's really cool that they do offer all of these features on the cameras options as well. Now, the only thing about the BLU G90 is it's going to give you 10 watts charging, right? And then on the BLU G90 is going to give you 10 watts fast charging, but this guy is going to give you 30 watts charging, and it does give you 10 watts wireless charging. So this is really crazy that they did improve that so much as far as the charging features goes as well. And as far as the basic performance of these guys, it's really similar, but the BLU G91 Pro is going to be able to play games like Fortnite because it has that G90 processing chip. With this guy right here, they're both 12 nanometer processing chips, but this guy is rocking the A25, which is 12 nanometer processing chip as well, and it's going to be pretty snappy as well. So both of these devices are really zippy as well, but we do have for the BLU G91 Pro, we're gonna get that Mali G76 for the graphics, and it's gonna perform extremely quick. Almost anything you do is gonna launch almost instantaneously on that. But also the G91 is still gonna give you some pretty decent performance as well. You're gonna get that, like I said, a decent processing chip. It's not gonna be as powerful as the G91 Pro. but you will be able to get some really quick speeds on here and multitasking and things like that. So that's something just to throw out there. Really solid devices on both of these guys, and they both have some pretty decent speeds as well. Now, one of the things about BLU is that they always incorporate the same audio chip on here for Bluetooth. It's the 4.1. They haven't upgraded that one for a long time now, so that's just something that that's the only thing I don't like about these devices, is that they do still have an older Bluetooth technology, which is really old at this point. It's the Bluetooth 4.1 on both of these guys. Now, as far as gaming on the BLU G91 Pro, it's fast, it's smooth, it's quick. You get ultra frame rate and you get smooth, which is going to give you really good graphics on here. So as far as not having Bluetooth 5.0 at this stage, it's not the biggest deal breaker in the world, but I'm the type of person who listens to audio every single day. And the one thing that I did notice is that the sound is good on the speakers, but when you connect it to the Bluetooth and you want to toggle that volume up and down, some of the times it skips from really low to high. It doesn't have any like mids in between. So that's the only thing I don't like about the sound quality on both of these guys, right? But they do sound really good and they do perform really well. But you can see that the performance of this thing is just going to be really fast and zippy as well. So 130 for the BLU G90, 199 for the BLU G91 Pro. They're both priced very well when it comes to the price of these guys. And you know, the performance is going to be really quick, right? It's going to be really crazy. You know, this device is a really good gaming phone as far as what you're spending on here, right? Let me get out of here. Oh, damn. But you know what I mean? Like everything on here about this device is very fast. It's very snappy. Anything that you do is really snappy on here. So I just really enjoy using this device when it comes to anything. So I just enjoy the gaming on the BLU G91 Pro. Now, when you compare the displays, the G91 Pro is going to be a bit better because it has, you know, the G91 Pro does have 393 pixels per inch versus the G90, which has 270. They're both 29:9 aspect ratio, but we're getting 720 by 1600 on this guy right here, and then we are getting 1080 by 2400, which is a jump up, and you know, it does look really good as well on this guy right here. So the panel is really wide. It has a really wide for the 20:9 aspect ratio. This device feels really good in the hand. It's really wide, and when I just did that, I did feel a creak right here. I don't know if you can hear that, but so it does creak on the sides, just because it's made of plastic, right? So I just kind of want to throw that out there. But I just can't emphasize enough how clutch wireless charging is on this entry-level budget flagship device for $199 right now, and probably depending on the sales that are going on, it could fluctuate in price and things of that nature. One more thing worth noting is that the BLU G91 Pro will give you Android 11, and the BLU G91 will give you Android 10 as well. And when it comes to the sensors, we're getting rear fingerprint sensors on both, facial recognition on both. We're also getting the accelerometer on this guy, proximity sensor on this guy, but we actually get a gyro sensor and a compass as well on the BLU G91 Pro, which is actually an upgrade when it comes to the sensors and capabilities of it as well. So like I said before, we are getting the MediaTek Helio 825, which is a 12 nanometer processing chip. Well, it's a 12 nanometer processing chip on this, but this is the G91 gaming chipset. This one is a budget chipset. And let's just take a look at the graphics that we are getting on this guy, but it's actually pretty decent and playable, but you're not going to be able to get those high refresh rates. They're both running a 60 Hz refresh rate, but you won't be able to get that ultra smooth frame rate, which we do get on the G91 Pro. So the G90 does have the Mali, you know what I'm saying? It does have, no, this guy does have the Power VR GE8320. And you could see there's a bit of slowdown. It's not going to be as zippy as that G91 Pro, right? It's not going to be the gaming phone that we did hope for on the G91 Pro, but it's still solid. You can still game on here, but you can see there are some slowdowns on this thing, right? So there's going to be a little bit of stutter when you're gaming, and you're not going to get that high refresh, you know, gaming mode, you know what I'm saying? So you won't be able to have the edge all the time because of the the processing chip that it's using. So let me just see if I could get out of here and alive or whatever. But let me see. Yeah, the gaming on here is absolutely smooth as butter, right? Well, not completely smooth as like the G91 Pro, but it's definitely playable. You will be able to get, you know, some kills on here. It's not going to be as smooth, right? It won't be as crazy, but you still will be able to get kills and things of that nature. You know, so you can see the performance on here. It does perform pretty smooth on here. And like I said, you will get some decent, you will be able to squeeze some decent gameplay out of this thing. So I just kind of want to show you guys what the 13 megapixel versus the 16 megapixel looks like when we turn them around. And let me just kind of see what these look like, right? Let's go to photo. Okay, it's brighter on the BLU G91 Pro. Let me just take a picture. And let's look at that real quick. So the BLU G91 Pro has more details on my face, right? It's got more details on my face. I'm not sure if I moved or something like that on the BLU G90, but let's just take that one more time. But you can see that the 16 megapixel camera is going to be better than the 13. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. And yeah, there's more detail and it's brighter on my face on the BLU G91 Pro. So depending on what your personal preference is, I definitely would I like the BLU G91 Pro because it's a lot brighter and stuff like that, but the BLU G90 did a really good job as well. And let's just go ahead and we're gonna take a picture with the, let's see, we got night mode on both of these things, 108 and 96. Let's just take a quick shot on this guy with the 108. And one more with this guy, 96. And it's doing the pixel binning, right? You can see it loading. It took a long time to load versus the BLU G91 Pro, so I just want to throw that out there. But look how much brighter that the BLU G91 Pro is able to burst out that the details. You can see all the dust on the top of there on both of these things, right? So it does give you a lot of details with that 96 and the 108. You could kind of see all the dust, but look at the difference between the reds and everything of that nature. And 6 megapixel versus the freaking 108 on there. So I definitely like that feature as well. So like I said, the BLU G91 Pro is going to give you a lot more, it's going to give you a better software experience as far as the user experience, a better camera experience. The battery will last longer as well. And you know, the cameras will be better as well. It even looks like the facial recognition is quicker on there. I guess depending on which one you're looking at, right? At that very moment. Let's test out the fingerprint sensors though. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So my fingers are like, I don't know. They're both really fast, right? But I'm not able to like simultaneously hit them both at the same exact time. Yeah, I mean, you can see that this G91 Pro is like instant. So yeah, I definitely think that the G91 Pro is an upgrade from the G90 right here, the original. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you really think it's a huge upgrade, or do you think it's just an incremental change? But I definitely like the cameras better. I definitely like the gaming performance better. And I definitely like how they put Android 11 on this guy. And it's got, you know, it's got the gyroscope for gaming. It's got a smoother experience, right? When you're scrolling through it. And let's just go to settings, but we go to about phone at the top and go into this device software. And you can see that they did implement that new device software with the Android 11 as well. So you can see we do get that on this guy. And then when you go right here, you could see, let me see, Android 10 is on this guy. So, you know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think about both of these devices. But I am a huge fan of BLU, and they keep making better phones. The only thing I would really stress is that they upgrade the Bluetooth to Bluetooth 5.1 or Bluetooth 5.0 instead of the 4.1. But overall, both of these devices do offer a really good experience in the budget price point. But this is my full comparison of both of these guys. And I do like both of these devices. I'm a big fan of them. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Leave a comment. Also show your support by hitting the like button. And I appreciate you for watching the video to the end. And if you did find this video helpful, make sure you subscribe and join the crew and get notified for more videos just like this. But it's your boy Serrano, and I'm going to get right back with you later, crew. Peace.